What about now? Oh, you can hear me now, right? Baby Wolf, what's going on? What's up? Hey, thanks, Master Procrastinator. Thanks, everyone. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Man, chat room's going too fast. It's going way too quick. I'm trying to keep up. I got my glasses on. I don't go live at all. I'm just doing this right now because I'm doing this now because I'm not good at vlogging. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty bad at vlogging. I don't. I'm not really patient in editing videos like that have to do with me getting a point across. So it's better that I just kind of go and go live and talk if I need to say something or whatever. But I don't really necessarily have to say anything. I'm just kind of what I'm doing right now is I'm about to mix the last video that I just I have to mix the audio on the last video that I did for 10-second songs, and I did the for those of you who follow me from my 10-second songs channel, I just completed and I'm in the process of completing the Secrets of Life video. So that's the video that I gave you the hook. They shot me into outer space. Look at my face, can't believe what's in front of me. You know. So and then your job was to submit lyrics that were what aliens were telling me in outer space, of what the secrets of life are. And believe me, we don't get anywhere. we don't learn the secrets of life. I don't want to give away too much, but I got a lot of trolls on YouTube. I'll put it that way. There's a lot of trolls on YouTube. But yeah, but I'm doing that, and I wanted to let you know this because I put out like an impromptu thing on my a cover of "Show Must Go On" yesterday. Because that's a song that I like to sing and I practice to. Is the microphone a little bit too loud? Because someone said R.I.P. headphone users. I didn't think I said anything too loud, unless the singing was that abysmal. Well, thank you so much from New York with love. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you I guess a live update and also talk to you guys. I mean, you can ask me some questions. I'll do like a kind of like an impromptu Q&A if you want to know anything about me, which is I don't know why you would, but but I'm gonna let you know the update first. I'm putting out Secrets of Life this week. I am also for the rest of the year. I'm laying it out right now. I'm doing a highly requested song. It's a classic song that I've been bothered to do for a long time. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm doing it. Finally, I'm doing it, and that's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Then, but I also I'm thinking about because I got the itch. I haven't done it in a while, and I got some ideas. And that's all. I have some ideas for doing another pop song. So so I'm gonna do that as soon as I do Secrets of Life. I'm doing a pop song, then I'm doing the classic song, and around that time, that's when I'm gonna finally release this album that I'm working on, that I've been working on with my band. It's a full-length album. I feel like everything that I put out with Set the Charge, my band before this point was kind of half-assed. I'll be very honest with you. Like, if you think that, like, oh, yeah, we don't have our shit together, you're right. We didn't have our shit together for a long time. At least I feel that way. But now we're taking it seriously, this whole band thing. So watch out for that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're taking it seriously. What's going to happen? What's going to happen with the old boys? when the old girls from Portchester, New York, take the band seriously. I wonder what's gonna happen. Um, so yeah, we're releasing an album, so be on the lookout for that. Uh, you had him. Oh yeah, yeah, Leo. Uh, Leo's the best. He's a great YouTuber. That's the other thing I want to tell you guys. Everyone, every time I put on a, I'm gonna get to my tattoos in a second, Grouch. Uh, every time I put out a video after I've disappeared for 2 months, because I tend to do that because of reasons that I don't feel is anyone's business. Every time I do that, and I come back and I put out a video, everyone's like, oh, I thought you quit YouTube. Oh, you're alive. I thought you were gonna give up on YouTube or something like that. No, it's just that like I am I look up to a lot of my friends who are YouTubers who can just organize themselves and run their business. That's what I like. It's like you're a YouTuber and you do this for a living. I mean, it's a business. You gotta have both the skills creatively and business wise. If you're doing it by yourself, if you're lucky enough to have a team, well, who takes care of that business and they're familiar with how to run it, then you're lucky. But I'm not that fortunate. I have somewhat, my brother helps me out, but I'm not that fortunate. I'm alone most of the time, and for somebody who has ADHD and other problems, it's tough for me to get on a consistent schedule, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I love this more than you know. I think about this all the time. I think about what I do on I think about what I do on YouTube. I think about where I want to be musically every day. And I think my biggest vice is that I overthink. And when I overthink, I don't get as much stuff done. And that's the problem, So, yeah, the master procrastinator. Good luck with the man. It's funny you say that. Thanks a lot, man. So, but here I am, and I'm a smelly man. I do smell, right now, I do smell of leave-in conditioner. A combination of leave-in conditioner, deodorant, Old Spice, Aqua Reef deodorant, and Jupe cologne that I've been wearing since I was a kid. I don't like change. So, top 5 bands: Queen, Metallica. These are the top 5 bands of my life: Queen, Metallica, Muse, Type O Negative, Iron Maiden. Pantera would have been in that list, but you know what's weird? I love Pantera. Like this. I love the story. Like the story of Pantera is fascinating to me because every album they released, they like it was like the Hulk. They got more and more powerful and more brutal. They changed the landscape. They altered. They put a crater in the landscape of heavy metal with every album they released, and I feel like they influenced some form of heavy metal, a different form of heavy metal in every album they released. But as the years progressed for me, I look as the years progressed for me, I look back and I actually, I'll be honest with you, man, I like more songs off Cowboys from Hell than I have in my high school years. Because in high school, it was the heavier the better. Like I was into such heavy shit in high school that I just wanted it to be. At one point, it was like death metal, like the least amount of melody as possible. I'm angry. So naturally, Great Southern Trendkill was my favorite of their albums for a while. But now it's like, man, I'll tell you, with Pantera, honestly, one of my favorite songs of theirs, period, is The Sleep. You listen to The Sleep and you tell me that isn't one of the greatest guitar solos of all time. It's one of the best guitar solos of all time in The Sleep. Cannibal Corpse, I was I owned a couple of Cannibal Corpse albums in high school, but again, you know, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't grow out of the brutal metal side after high school. It was a slow thing, slowly but surely. After high school, I kind of lightened up a little bit, and I started to get into more musical stuff. And I mean, as far as metal goes, I mean, some of my favorite metal is, I mean, like, I love classic metal. Iron Maiden is one of my favorite bands. You know, as far as progressive metal, like I love Symphony X. Big Symphony X fan. I love Symphony X. Um, but I tend to like, I don't know, man. In my older, and I'm turning 30. I know that age doesn't have much to do with it, but maybe it does. I like to chill. A lot of the times, like I go running in the morning, dude. I go running in the morning, and I remember there was a time when I went years ago. I would just put on Soilwork to go run in the morning. You know, I love Soilwork too. I feel like they're one of the best modern metal bands. And by modern, it's not really that modern now. It's like, you know, some of the stuff I was listening to in high school, I still am tricked into thinking that that's modern. But I would go and listen to Soilwork, all these different metal bands. Now it's like I need to ease into the morning. So if I'm waking up at 6:30 in the morning, sometimes I put on 07. You know what 07 is? 07 is like this chill group. I don't know how to describe them, but they're like borderline elevator music, and it's one of Sia was in that band. They were a group that Sia was in years ago. I listen to them when I run sometimes, and if I'm feeling really in the mood, yeah, it's like down tempo stuff. If I'm feeling really in the mood for something crazy, maybe I'll run to some Prodigy in the morning. The other relaxing album that I find is good for me in the morning to help wake me up is Life Is Killing Me by Typo Negative. That's another good running album for me in the morning. Hey, what's going on, Jupiter SY? Favorite singer? That's hard for me. Bruce Dickinson is definitely up there. Freddie, obviously. I mean, oh yeah. So the tattoos, I just have this classic Monsters sleeve. You have Wolfman over here, Wolfman, the Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, and the Crown Jewel. Oh shit! What the hell am I doing? Oh, there we go. Bela Lugosi, man, the one and only. Although Gary Oldman did a good job in Bram Stoker's Dracula, but you can't beat Bela Lugosi. You can't. And then I got this over here. I got one down my side, and I have one over. This right here is a Strapping Young Lad lyric. It's called. It says, "Let's sing volumes for the souls that aren't for sale." So, my favorite movie, I tend to just my go-to and what I want to say is Jurassic Park. It's like my comfort film. The first Jurassic Park. It's my comfort movie. You know, when I went on tour, when I was like, you know, the first time going on a plane by myself, a couple of years back, I would watch Jurassic Park on the every time I was on a plane. Jurassic Park would be on the iPad that I had. No, Serena, no, I haven't. That's the funny thing about this. Let's sing volumes for the souls that aren't for sale. I still have to get the apostrophes. I don't have them. I don't care. I see, because you know it's better to, if you have a tattoo that that needs something. It's better than having a tattoo that has something it shouldn't have, because then I would care. I just have to add them. Confess your music guilty pleasure. Mine is Little Mix. I love metal, but I can't resist singing to Little Mix. Sad but true. There's no guilty pleasures. Really, there's none. Um, one of my favorite songs is Eve 6, Inside Out. I was swallowing my pride, I was choking the rhymes, but the lack thereof will leave me empty inside. I was swallowing my doubt, turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. Wanna put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin around in a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. I burn like a wicker cabinet. Don't know the words. Yeah, favorite song, My Ass. You fucking doots. Hey, who wants to say hello to Pyretta? Oh yeah, that's the other thing I want to talk about. For those of you who are watching. All right, here it goes. Let me take my glasses off for this. I'm already starting to see it, and I'm going to see it, probably going to see it more and more. Whenever Pyretta comes up on the screen, there's always that one person who comments on her weight. And I'm going to give you fair warning. I fight people. I fight people who comment on her weight. We're going to go to war. All right? Because I'm going to say it like this. She gets grain-free, vet-recommended doses. Some of you have seen this before. So this is a rant I'm going to go on again. Everybody fat shames my cat. Yeah, she's a little chubby. She's not fat. She's maintained her weight for a couple of years. Okay? She's very healthy. If she twitches the wrong way, I take her to the vet. The vet said, she told me very specifically, I told her the kind of food that I feed her. In fact, the kind of food that I feed her is this organic food called Mori. I think that's the name of it. I just know about the can. And they tell me that that's actually the kind of food that vets will recommend cats who are sick or whatever, because it's just such good. Like if a cat has a problem, you know, I went to the store and I was buying a bunch of this food, and she said, "Oh, this is actually that kind of food is the best food you can get cats." I mean, my vet's, you know, my cat was sick, and he actually recommended that I get that for my cat. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, this food is the best you can get. It's organic. She gets half of the wet can in the morning, and then at night she gets measured a fourth of a cup of grain-free hard food that's good for the teeth. All right. My favorite food is Mori cat food. It's I found that it's good for humans too. Don't knock it till you try it. So she gets she gets that. The vet said in a year that I brought her back, I mean, she happened to gain a couple of ounces, and I don't know why. But that's when she had put me on specifically to measure the specific orders to measure the food. So I am not one of these freaks who overfeed my cat, number one, okay? And you telling me that my cat is fat is nothing, like, you're not opening my eyes to anything, all right? So it's like, if you tell me that your cat is fat, oh my God, you're right. What do I have to, listen, I know she's a chubby cat. And the other thing is, would you, if I had a video of, say, me and a family member with me, okay, say I always had my aunt, or like my aunt on with me in my videos, and all of a sudden you see my aunt one year and she got fat. Are you gonna say, oh wow, your aunt got fat, what is she eating? Dude, that's fucked up. That's Where's your manners? Seriously, where is your manners? I hope she'll not ruin another video. Like, I'll tell you a story, right? There's a picture of Pyretta up on Facebook. And this is why I don't post on Facebook a lot. I don't post on Facebook, my personal Facebook. I don't, because there's like an old family friend that I haven't seen in years. Family friend, like since when I was a kid, and she obviously is like this crazy old cat lady. You know, like she's a crazy cat lady. And all of a sudden she sees a picture of Pyretta. I haven't seen her in years. I haven't talked to her since I was like 9 years old. She's like, "Cat's getting fat. What are you feeding her?" It took every ounce of my energy to not go on a rant because I didn't want to look like some crazy cat dad. I'm like, I started to write. I was like, well, I started to say, you know, I give her vet recommended doses, and then I stopped myself because I'm like, wait a minute, dude, hold on, stop. You look like an idiot. Yeah, don't listen. I do a lot of observing. Okay, I do a lot of observing on the internet. I can tell you right now. And I know that some of you who are watching, you have to agree. You may see your parents, you may see your family members and friends. You post too much shit on Facebook. Too much stuff that's none of our business. All right? And I'm not about to look as bad as some of the people that I see that fight each other and waste so much of their precious moments bickering over something stupid. They're looking at their phone. Whole world is going on around them. This whole world, and they could be enjoying physical things. I picked up my phone. Yeah, physical things. They could be enjoying physical things like looking on their phone. No, whole world is going around them, and everybody's can't. Groucho 4. I've been in mosh pits many times when I was in high school. I remember I'd go into mosh pits. I was big in the pits. Big in the pits. I would go into mosh pits, and I remember being so, like, you know, crazy in the pits, and that I would walk out and people would look at me. There was a couple of times where people would look at me weird, and then I started to pick up on why they were looking at me. I kind of caught on to it after a while because turns out I had blood going right down my face. I was not to you know, make me look cool or anything, because it's not cool to be that stupid. Get hit and not notice. But best concert you've ever been to? I would have to say Muse is definitely up there in recent times. I saw Muse at Mohegan Sun Arena. I saw Muse at the Mohegan Sun Arena, and then but the big thing, the monumental concert for me, was seeing Metallica at Madison Square Garden with the symphony orchestra. And back then I was just a little poser. Back then I was just like, you know, I love Metallica because it was you know, all the kids were listening to rap, and you know, it was the late '90s. They were listening to rap, and I was kind of like I just wanted to be like this rebellious, like my own thing. You know, but I did love the music. I love Metallica, but when I think back to it, I was so lucky to be at that concert, the S&M concert. It changed my life because up until then, I wanted to be so many different things. I was a big dreamer as a kid. I wanted to, when I saw Jurassic Park, I mentioned that was my favorite film, I wanted to be a fucking scientist to recreate dinosaurs. I wanted to open up the real Jurassic Park so bad. You have no idea. I was really looking up I was doing all my research. Me and my friend Emmanuel, we would like, during recess, we would talk about we would draw up plans for our park, where every species of dinosaurs was going to go. I also wanted to be a director. You know, I wanted to do Jurassic Park 2 before they even did Lost World. I wanted to be a baseball player at one point. I was a big, for a little while I had a phase where I was big into baseball. I was a big Seattle Mariners fan. And I was a Seattle Mariners fan because my brother Frank, I remember back in the mid-'90s, the Mariners played the Yankees in the playoffs. And they made Frank cry big time. And me and Frank, obviously, he's my bigger brother. We fought all the time. I loved it. I love the fact that the Mariners made him cry. I was like, wow, this team is really powerful. The Mariners. You had Ken Griffey Jr. He was my hero. Ken Griffey Jr. was my baseball hero when I was a kid. You had Ken Griffey Jr. You had Jay Buhner. You had Alex Rodriguez before he was a Yankee. You had Edgar Martinez. You had Randy Johnson. Dude, they were insane. Seattle Mariners were the best back then. And I was lucky enough to see them many times at the old stadium at Yankee Stadium. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a rant. I'm sure none of you even know what the hell I'm talking about or care. But anyway, but to go back to the original point, I wanted to be so many things as a kid. I wanted to be so many things. But it wasn't until that Metallica concert that I wanted to be a rock star. From that point on, I never abandoned that dream. Even to this day, I never abandoned that dream. Now, when you get older and you haven't reached certain milestones that you expected to reach at certain times of your life, you expected, it's like unfortunately, the way the world is, and the way if you have these kinds of aspirations, the world will put something in front of you. Like it'll show you that all of your heroes, all of the musicians you ever looked up to, they made it in their mid-20s, they made it in their early 20s, and they died when they were 27. A lot of them did. The 27 Club. So, it's like you feel like almost like that's the time that you have. If you don't do something in that time frame, it's not happening for you. And but it's interesting the way things happened. And it's all a lie. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Complete bullshit. You know why it's a lie? Because there's a dude out there, I forget his name. He's a soul singer. He's like 55 years old. He didn't even make it. He didn't make it till he was like 50 something. And he's touring all over the place. He's what the hell's his name? Oh man, this is gonna kill me. Somebody, do you know who I'm talking about? This black dude. What the hell's his name? Anyway. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I am just testing this out. The industry is very different now. Yeah, I'm just testing this out right now. I'm just messing around. I gotta start mixing this next. Charles Bradley, that's him. Perfect example. Look, we're in a different time. And it all comes down to one thing: charisma. And charisma comes from just being completely free of inhibition. Because everybody, the man with the golden voice, the soul singer. Neil, thanks a lot, man. I got my iced coffee today. Do you know that your Rap God cover was taken off Spotify? No, I didn't know that, but I've got a million things to attend to, and it doesn't surprise me. Can you please answer, do you know any Russian rock bands? I don't, but I would love to hear some. What do you think of Baby Metal? They're interesting. I would be lying if I said I've heard a lot of Baby Metal, but I like them. It's interesting. I have not heard of the band Cardiacs. Yes, D. Antwoord was actually, they were here not too long ago. Right down the street from the studios is the Capitol Theater in Portchester. And D. Antwoord was actually here. They were performing earlier on in the year. Excuse me. Do artists whose styles you use ever contact you? Used to. There was once a time where they cared. Kidding. The last one I did Chop Suey, and Shavo actually shared it. The basis of System of a Down. He shared it, and uh, you know, I still see him on Instagram every once in a while. You know, if I follow their tour, I'm happy that they're still going and they're playing. It's amazing. I've heard of 12 Foot Ninja. That's the band from Australia, right? I've listened to them a bunch of times. Yeah, that's good shit. That's definitely good shit. Yes, Chili Peppers. You're right. They did. How many artists do you think you've done styles for? I actually, one of my goals for this year, which I hope I can get to, was to make it to 500 styles, because I think I've recorded about like 300 something styles, which is so. It doesn't mean anything, but it's just like technically I have done over 300 styles technically. I've never been to any music festivals. I'd love to. I need to get out more, man. I have to get out more. Anybody in New York? Is there anyone in New York? Are you all actually? Where are you all from? Tell me where you're all from. High five. My band is called Set the Charge. It's Set the Charge. Set the Charge. There we go. Nice. Nice. Sweet. Okay. Well, for those of you who are in New York or anywhere near, on July 8th, and I may even live stream it for those of you who are not who don't have a chance of attending. But July 8th, me and my band will be performing over at the Bitter End in New York City. 18 and up to get in, 21 and up to drink, and you can actually get in with a legal guardian if you're under the age of 18. It's a legendary venue. So there's a lot of singers and even like actors and just celebrities in general have made their way to that venue at some point or another. Or have found, some of them have found that they've crossed paths with that venue. It's like a really, really, like, it's New York dive bar, but it's class. Like, it's a classy place. It's a great venue. I'm really excited about being there. So that's at the Bitter End on July 8th. So if you're anywhere close, hey, if you're in New York, if you're a couple of states away, whoever drives, if you're crazy enough to drive the longest distance, I'll get your, I'll buy you a drink, huh? If you're of the age, I'll buy you a drink. What about that? We'll take a shot together. Will I ever give a concert in the Netherlands? I sure hope so. I better get a move on, because you just never know what's going to happen in this world. I'm into jazz. I like jazz when it's on. I wouldn't be able to give you my top 5 jazz artists. I like acid jazz. I love Jamiroquai. Antonio, go. Go, man. Go to the show. We're going to be promoting the new album that we're releasing in the fall. A couple of covers will be in there. You don't know which ones they are. A couple of covers are going to be in there. Adam, thanks a lot, man. Yes. I've listened to the early Dio. You know what is one of my favorite Dio albums, though, and I think a big part of the reason is because like I was introduced to it as a kid, and just like, it's one of those nostalgia things for me. I love Magica. But I can't find Magica anywhere. It's one of those Dio albums that you cannot find on streaming services. You can't find on Apple Music. You can't find even on iTunes. It's weird. And it's the same thing with Judas Priest, Jugulator, the album that they did with Ripper Owens. It's weird. Anyway, somebody said, "Do you have any singing advice for beginners?" My singing advice for you is to just is to sing, practice, uh, get some recording equipment. Just like lay down some of your own ideas. Get acquainted with production. Yeah, just practice. Sing along to other songs that are challenging. Get some. You can find instrumentals of any song on the internet. And even if you're not posting it, you don't have to post it up on YouTube unless you feel comfortable enough and you feel like it's good enough to post and you want to get feedback. But like, just get some instrumentals, get acquainted with recording equipment, sing over the instrumentals, practice, and test your limits. Whatever feels most comfortable for you, sing there first, and push your limits little by little. Don't do if you do something that hurts, stop doing it, and just keep going. And yeah, I mean for beginners, that's what I'm going to tell you. For beginners, that's all you can do. You know. Oh, braid my hair in a beehive. I'm definitely afraid of braiding my hair. The only time that I braided my hair was back almost 10 years ago when I went to the Bahamas, and and I decided, hey, you know what, I'm gonna get some cornrows. I have a picture of it somewhere. It's on my MySpace page, but the other day, last week, I went to go search to see if I even had a MySpace page anymore, and it's up. I found that picture. I should release it. So I'm afraid to do it now because my hair was a lot thicker back then, and I'm, coming on 30 years old. My hair is not as thick as it was. I'm not going bald, but my hairline is, it's not as strong as it used to be. I'm not ashamed to say it, but I'm afraid of braiding it because I don't want to take out more hair. You know what I'm saying? I have to look as young as possible. I have to, because like if it's my only chance of being the next Justin Bieber. I still have a chance. What motivates? So I started Set the Charge. I was raised Roman Catholic, but I'm not really a practicing anything. I don't really practice religion. I consider myself I'm open-minded. I guess I'm agnostic. If you want to be honest, if I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not like atheist because I just I don't feel I just it doesn't make any sense that there's that like you die and that's it. I don't believe that. I don't believe you die and that's it. I just don't know what comes after, or if there is anything after, or if we're just assimilated or whatever. I just keep myself open. I feel like consciousness goes beyond just the physical world, though. So that's all I got. That's all I can say, and it's not really a matter. It's just I don't have any evidence to back it up. It's just what I feel, and that's the end of the story. Moving on. I don't like to stay on religious topics too long or any other topics like that. My goal for Set the Charge is to be a legitimate band. I don't give a shit about charting on Billboard or anything. When I put out a 10-second songs video, okay, and somebody says, "Oh man, you should be in your own band. Like, what's your band name?" I want to type Set the Charge and know that I'm sending them someplace that I'm proud of, and they listen to an album that I'm proud of. That is not half-assed. That is complete and beautiful sounding and professional and on the level of the productions that I put together with 10-second songs. That's what I want. That's my only goal, as far as I'm concerned. My level of playing bass, it's okay. I'm an alright bassist, I guess. I'm not a great bassist. I use the bass and guitar as tools to achieve the production sounds I want. I can play guitar in an alternative punk band if I had to. I could, but then it starts wearing thin after that because I don't really have a whole lot of guitar now. I'm actually looking to get some. I have a friend of mine who's very talented. That he's a guitar teacher as well, and I'm looking to get lessons. Just because I want, I figured I might as well, it's like I'd like to expand my horizons as a musician. Favorite misheard lyric of a song? I don't know. Hey, thanks so much, uh, Chris. How did I get the studio and the instruments? Yeah, Miles Kennedy's great. I love Miles. Oh, that's a story. So, yes, I remember you, Baby Wolf. I do. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna go, but before I do, I'll tell you that. Funny thing is, like years ago, like about 10 years ago, um, I had all I had all home recording equipment, and me and my brother and our best friend Mike, we would do um, we would do podcasts, we would do radio shows, right, from like our bedrooms, and I also had a lot of I had my production equipment, and I would record my own music, just like experimenting by myself, nothing official. And finally, it got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'd really like to turn this into a business. I was at a point where I was kind of going to college. I was like, this is not really working for me. I'm horrible in school. But I wanted to do something. I realized that if I was going to get a job, I wanted to have my own job and something that I love doing. And if I can have my own studio and charge people for studio time, then I would do that. Like that's cool. I would love to do that. So I decided that I really wanted to move out and find a place, find a studio, and it just so happens that my brother at the time, he was like, he was like, hey, how about we find a studio where it's like you do your music thing, get people and record people and stuff, but we can also do our radio show in an actual our own broadcast studio. So we found a spot that was around here that was run by a slumlord. We're pretty much like it. We got cheap rent. The building, the building was not in great shape. The building inspectors were paid off. He was a slumlord. Like there was a lot of work he should have been doing to the building, and it wasn't up to code, I should say. But we were there for years, and it's where we got our start, and we built our own studio, and all the instruments that I have, it's just accumulated over the years, hand-me-downs, guitars that I've acquired myself, basses that I've had since I was a kid, whatever, and then eventually I made my own upgrades. Then when things happen with 10-second songs, I got a Schecter endorsement and all that stuff, but that's really it. So eventually, with that old studio space a couple of years ago, we ran it. Everything runs its course, and like I said, it wasn't in good shape. It wasn't up to code, and eventually, it went under because of that. And everybody was forced to evacuate the old studio. It's a very sad thing. I never really talked about that, and nobody really knows how that's affected my happiness. I don't know why I'm saying this. But I'm not going to get into it. Imagine, you being forced out of your home. That's what it was like. It was my home. And I loved that place. Really loved that place. I love this place too, but I loved that place. And but we found this place, and we've been here for over a year, and that's pretty much it. We used to do radio shows all the time, but now it's like it's podcasting. My brother does his own show. People do, come here to use podcast studio and live video stream. But I'm these days focused on producing music, writing the Set the Charge album, and Believe it or not, I got a lot of stuff on the docket for 10-second songs. It's just that these things take time. There were things that came up that were, you know, that were supposed to happen and they didn't. So it's a lot to get into. But I watch a lot of other YouTubers. I'm from New York. Pyretta, you want to say goodbye one last time? Yeah, man. Here's Pyretta. 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 That's a weird looking dog. Damn right it's a weird looking dog. Sleepy cat. Fluffy. Okay, guys. Pyretta is her name. Short for Pyretta Blaze. Type O Negative song. Check it out. It's one of my favorite Type O Negative songs, and that's what she was named after. Pyretta Blaze. I'm gonna be 30 in September. Everybody congratulate me for making it this far. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching this impromptu broadcast. I kind of was just like curious about doing it, and I'm glad that it works. Maybe I'll do this more often. Yeah. No, I'm just Jonas. I'm just kind of just hanging out. You know, just hanging out. But I gotta get to work. I gotta get mixing. Look out for. There's gonna be another video this week on 10-second songs, and let me tell you, it's bizarre. You may not like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. You might not like it because it's different. You know. Listen, you got combined styles of really weird styles that don't mix. So I mean, like even for me, it was jarring. I was listening back to it, and I'm like, this is weird. But I threw myself into it. I did it for you guys. You asked for it, so here we go. Secrets of Life, we're coming. Watch this ends up being one of those videos that years from now aliens find in archives, and it ends up sparking a whole new style of music in the future. No, it won't be that important. Hey, everybody, take care. Love you. See you later. All right, now let's stop.